Welcome to Frankston Basketball Stadium here at Seaford, Victoria for this preliminary final NBL1 game between the hometown Frankston RSL Blues and the visiting Bendigo Braves. It is 2nd versus 8th for a place in the grand final. I'm Damien Arsenis from the pickandroll.com.au, and joining me tonight is Ash Arnott from Basketball Victoria. And Ash, we've got a full house here at Frankston tonight, and hopefully it's going to heat up on the court because it's bloody cold.
It is absolutely freezing here. If I knew that, I would have worn another hoodie. But big night here, Damien. The stadium's absolutely pumping. It's great to see so many young kids here supporting the Frankston Blues, and those Blues fans definitely outnumber the Bendigo Brave crowd.
Yes, and of course these teams have done it differently. Frankston started off the season with a 1-4 record, went on to complete their year in 2nd place, losing only 2 more games for the remainder of the season. Bendigo had a patch mid-season. They had a hot start mid-season. They lost 4 out of 5, recovered, and really are now flying in the finals, and to make their way here to tonight's preliminary final.
Absolutely. I think it was a really big defining game for the Frankston Blues when they lost to Diamond Valley Eagles away on the road. And after that game, through discussions with the coaching staff in Adam Jackson and head coach Andrew Harms, they really talked about how they wanted to speed the game up. You could definitely see that at the second half of the season. And then for the Braves, that 3-headed monster in Turner, Mio. I've got to get that name right,
and
Damien.
Deontay
and
Burton.
Also Deontay Burton. Those 3 players have come up huge in the 2 finals they've had so far against Melbourne and then Kilsyth last week. So we're up for a huge game tonight, Damien. I'm pretty excited.
Of course, both these teams got here different ways. Frankston's had the week off after they took care of Nunawading Spectres in the opening week of finals. And of course, Bendigo, they've had to win 2 games already to get this far.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to see how teams come off after that weekend off. I know Frankston, for a fact, had a training session on Saturday to make sure they got the legs moving last weekend. But Bendigo, they're running hot right now.
They are. Both teams are running hot. This is why it sets it up for such a big game tonight. We'll run through the starting lineups quickly. The Frankston RSL Blues will be Lucas Barker, Igor Hadziomiric, the captain, Damon Bozeman, Majuk, Nigel Young for the Blues, and for Braves, it's Chris Hogan, Daniel Hansen, Mathiang Mio, Ray Turner, and Deontay Burton. And what a game we've got. We've got 2 potential MVP candidates out in court as well in Bozeman and Turner. And really, it's, as you said, a 3-headed monster for the Braves. But the Blues go 7 deep. Is it a case of depth over the star quality of 3 players?
Yeah, well, they're going to have a tough night trying to have the guard. Well, they've got 6 players really averaging double-digit points here in Bozeman, Iggy, Trish, Young, Barker, Majuk. So Coach Hogan has to find up some matchups for that. And then for Harmsy and the Blues, we see that matchup in Burton and Bozeman. That's going to be an exciting one to start with.
Certainly will. It's Braves with the first possession here at Frankston. And Burton is long on his first shot, and it's tracked down by Hadziomiric. Oh, Young in the open court. He goes all the way! And that's got the fans up out of their feet already.
And you can see already the Blues want to push the ball. They're not messing around. They're getting that thing out in the open lane and trying to score.
And that's what's worked so well for the Blues, especially against the Spectres, as we see it again. Young leading the break. Goes all the way! Tip in by Majuk's off target. And the Braves get a reprieve. But did you see Majuk run the floor there? The big fella.
Barker was out there. Majuk was running. Young was pushing the ball. It's always dangerous when one of your post players pushing the ball in trance.
And there you go, Ray Turner. So 2 of the stars getting things underway for both teams. Young one way, Turner the other. So things are just settling down a little bit. Oh, Bozeman, open corner. He's off. Geez, you don't see Bozeman get open that much very often, do you?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that again like that tonight. Just a miscommunication there by the Braves.
Oh, and that's a tough runner there by Burton. Burton off to a hot start. Young dumps it into Majuk. Tried to get it back to Young, who wasn't expecting it. Now, going to work. Gets deep. Very positive start by Bendigo. 3 possessions, 3 scores.
And that was really good patience there by Mathang, just taking him down the shoulder, and the minute he felt that little pressure go off, he really drove those 2 feet in the paint. And
Turner picks the pocket of Majuk. Hands off, blocked by Young.
that was interesting, no call there. Damien Young has come over the top and hit Hansen hard after the block.
And the Braves bench are not happy. They're saying that was over the shoulder, and from our angle, it did actually look like it was a lot of shoulder in that.
But it's good. That's a good indication of how they're going to ref tonight's game. It looks like they're going to allow it to be physical and let the big boys play. So really exciting.
Bozeman with a steal. He goes all the way. Oh. Stolen by Hadzio Merovic. And he takes it straight at the rim and draws a foul. Well, you can see the intent of the Blues. Every opportunity, they're going straight at the rim. Without hesitation either.
And it's always really difficult to defend in trans when that post player can get the rebound and push. In this case, Iggy did a great job to get back into the play and cause that turnover and be disruptive. Then they had that 3-on-2 advantage, which Iggy did a great job taking down the middle. The Bendigo players a little bit unhappy that one was a foul and at the other end wasn't a foul. I think it's a fair case. But again, you could see the indication by the referees. Let the game be physical tonight.
The second by Hadzio Merovic rattles out. So it's a 5-6 lead to the Bendigo Braves. And they're going straight back to Turner. Quick Turner pace, goes around Majuk. And you can see that's where Turner may well have the advantage over Majuk. Majuk is not the quickest centre in the league.
Yeah, when it's gone into the half-court set, Dave, you can see both teams are trying to feed the well here. Most likely to try and cause some foul trouble. But Turner just definitely has that advantage. So quick, so explosive against Majuk. Need to find another way to defend him.
Oh, good defensive play by Young. Bozeman saves it. Players diving everywhere for it. It's going to be a held ball. And that should be the Blues because the Braves won the opening tip. There's just a murmur of the crowd at the moment. You know, just waiting for something to explode so they can get into it.
Yeah, and you can see both coaches would be over the moon with that hustle from both players. 4 to 5 guys on the floor there. Tonight obviously being the win, putting them into the grand final, so it means something. This is the intensity we want to see.
Most certainly. So just making sure the players aren't going to slip on the court, wiping it up. And we're seeing some full court pressure employed by the Braves.
And good to see Bendigo Braves player there, Mathang, just interacting with the crowd, the Frankston Blues crowd.
Certainly the Frankston Blues crowd, one of the most active in the league. Certainly getting behind the Blues this season. And they go straight to Majuk. Tough shot, finished! On the putback by Young. But again, Majuk seems to have the strength advantage, whereas Turner seems to have the speed advantage. We saw it that time. And they go straight back to Turner. What a matchup we've got going on here. And this time Turner draws a foul. It's going to be waved off. Majuk getting his hands in with a bit of a push.
They've let Majuk go one-on-one with Turner so far. It'll be interesting to see what adjustment the Frankston coaching staff makes. Do they start to send a double down there with the guard?
The danger with that is it opens up the three-point shot, as you know. Bendigo have been shooting so well.
Correct, and they have been red hot especially the last 2 weeks. So that adjustment's going to be really interesting to see how they go. Or are they just going to let Majuk continue to go one-on-one and see if he can get the better of him?
Well, Mao fires from deep and is off target. Certainly a player capable of filling it up very quickly. Young trying to feed Majuk. And it was broken up by the Braves. The referees had 2 opinions out there, and it's going to go Braves' way. Now, crossover.
Nice.
Lovely basket there by Mel.
Mathang just finding his little buddy in the crowd.
And he's talking to the crowd. I'm loving it. Oh, stolen by Burton. Just ripped it out of the hands of Bozeman. Blocked again by Young. Oh, he got upstairs. Hadzio Mirovic. Oh, and that was all set up by Young.
Young just so active. You think you have the layup, and then there goes Young rising up and pinning. Well, not so much pinning it, but did a great job of just bringing it back into the play.
Good defence that time by the big fella Majuk. Read which way he was going, and that's a travel.
I'd really like to see that one in slow-mo there, because he did a great job to get slow feet. Now, it was so quick, I couldn't see if he went off 2 or 1 there.
Certainly a very crafty player, isn't he?
Because it looked different, it did look like a travel.
My initial reaction was a travel, but as you said, they're allowed to gather. So active hands by Bozeman against Burton. Tough shot by Burton! Oh my!
That is tough.
Right in the face of Bozeman. And look at this, Hadzio Mirovic the other way, and one! So Hadzio Mirovic is off to a flyer. He's got 5 points. Chance to make it 6.
They're doing a great job just in the open lane, pushing. Tough shot there by Burton in the face of Bozeman.
Oh, wasn't that a shot by Burton?
You're going to have to live with that if you're Coach Harms. But the way Frankston got the ball in, didn't sit on it, got the ball in, pushed Iggy.
Short.
And won.
And of course, Dan Trist is now checked into the game. Bozeman nearly saves it. So Trist giving Majuk an early break.
And not a bad first sub to make, bringing in Dan Trist.
Pretty handy 6-man, isn't it? Must be one of the candidates for 6-man a year if they have that award in NBL1 this year.
We just made it, Damien. We just made it.
And of course, that's not discounting Alistair McDonald coming off the bench as well. He'd be a starter, as would Trist, in pretty much every other NBL1 team, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Really good job there by Bozeman, being proactive, seeing that lane, taking it away. And again, that's what you want to see as a coach, especially when such a big game is on the line. Players putting their bodies on the line, loose balls, charges. It's the little things that's going to win this game.
And the key with that one is, it was the Braves player, I didn't quite catch who it was, fell over the top of him. When you fall on top of a player, it nearly takes the question out of the... it makes the referees make the call, because it's not one of those 50-50 ones anymore.
And I believe that was Hogan, and Damien used to play against him. He's a strong man, so when he hits you, Bozeman definitely would have felt that one.
But again, Bozeman's had 2 or 3 fantastic defensive plays of his own. And if it wasn't for that Burton facial, that was tough. He was hand in face. He hasn't put a foot wrong. So virtually nothing separating either team here. It's the Braves holding a 2-point lead. They've been able to quell the fast start of Frankston. Frankston have been notorious fast starters this year, putting opposition on the back foot early.
And it's really interesting. Bendigo haven't made a sub yet. So when do they start to make their first sub into the game? Obviously, the Blues have injected McDonald and Trist. If I look to the bench now, it looks like Bartlett will come into the game for Bendigo at the next stop. So both coaches really trusting those starting fives.
Yep. Hadzio Mirovic, lovely up fake. Offensive rebound by Bozeman. Gets the roll. And the Blues fans up on their feet. It's tied at 13. Oh, look at the battle inside. Turner, Trist, and Trist gives up the foul. Again, Trist probably a bit more versatile than Majuk, but again, he's not known for his footwork and speed either. Maybe offensively, very crafty in the post, but defensively is arguably his weakness. Sorry, Dan.
Your words, Damo, your words.
Only calling it as I see it. So 3:25 to play in the first, locked up at 13 apiece. Oh, look at the hustle by Turner. Only goes as far as Bozeman. Keeps it momentum moving. Hadziemeric now will kick it out to Young.
Great footwork there to always stay low.
Hadziemeric had a long time to line that one up.
And just a really good job there by Young. He attacked so hard. A lot of players losing balance, but he stayed low, able to get that reverse pivot and find Iggy for three.
I was going to say a three-pointer in response would have just what the doctor ordered. Bozeman to the Euro step. Can't finish.
That's tough to guard. Bozeman is such a bulldog. He is so hard to guard, especially at speed like that.
And when he's able to do a Euro as well.
I think that's what he was trying to do before, Damo.
And this time Ray Turner shoots over the top of Trist and ties it back up at 16. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. I'm a bit quick on that. It's 16-15. Trist trying to get position. McDonald fires from deep, wanted the foul. Nothing happening. Good defense by Young. Look at him guard. Mio forcing him to stop. That's a win by Young. And that's a three-pointer to the Braves.
That was a big shot by Hogan, and that's just...
It was Hogan. Sorry, I was trying to work out who it was.
And that's what Hogan does. He's just going to do all the little things, play his role, and he makes big shots when they need him the most. So great job there by Hogan.
Corner three, Young. That was way off. Yeah.
He was closed out there by his teammate McDonald in the corner. Made it a little bit more difficult.
Another one, open, three from the wing. And the Braves, back-to-back trays. They trailed by three. All of a sudden, they're up 21-16, forcing the Blues to call for time with 1:24 to play in the first. Well, that's a momentum swing, isn't it?
Yeah, especially Frankston's been getting some really good shots, but down the other end, just that lack of communication and slow on the rotations has allowed Hogan to get two wide open threes, and the quality of that player, do not want to leave him wide open, takes his time, rise up. So just looking at both, they're still, Bendigo's made the limited subs where Harmsy's going back into that system. Barker will come in, and it looks like Bozeman will come out. So, and I'm looking at just Mathang on the other end of that bench. He's blowing hard. He's doing a great job, bringing a lot of energy at both ends. So how long is too long for these starters? Obviously the Bendigo Braves, that three-headed monster we talked about, they have played big minutes. And we'll expect them to play big minutes tonight. But with Harmsy, he's got the seven plays. He goes really deep that all have an impact. How is he going to manage those minutes? Who's he going with? And
it's also the pace that Frankston play with as well. It really forces the opposition on the back foot for nearly 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah, well, Frankston average 81.6 possessions per game. So 2 more possessions than the league average, and Bendigo is 76.23. So Bendigo do want to slow the game down a little bit, play more in the half court. So it'll be interesting, third, fourth quarter, Damien, how do they keep up with them?
So Andronicus on for his first minutes, and they go straight into Trist. And that was a little bit too easy. So Turner getting a much-needed breather on the bench. And it's Mao trying to get inside. He's off target. A mismatch in the post, and that's going to be a foul on Hogan. Good recognition there by Trist. Go take Hogan straight down to the post. And really, I know Hogan will go, well, I'm just trying to hold my ground, but it's a pretty good foul.
It is a good foul, stops them in their tracks. Hogan now goes to the bench.
He might have 2 fouls, I think.
Chris Hogan has is that his 3rd foul?
The juke inside. Lovely little 1-2 punch.
It looks like that's Chris Hogan's 3rd foul. We've just got some technical difficulties here with the iPad.
Yes. It's not playing game at the moment, but still a small difference. 4-second differential with the game clock and shot clock. The Blues should potentially get another look. Nice little up and under and handoff. And a shot clock violation. Braves are trying to say the ball hit the rim. It was certainly a touch and go, whether it grazed or not, but nonetheless, the Blues have got 7.7 seconds to potentially take the lead heading into the first break.
Yep, go on the full court. Expect Majuk step up here, get a high on ball on Iggy, and there he goes.
Oh, that's a good shot too. Barker! Oh, it rims out. That's exactly the kind of shot the Blues wanted. But at quarter time, it's the visitors, the Bendigo Braves, who finished 8th during the season. Can they keep their Cinderella finals action going? Well, we've got a game on our hands nonetheless, have we?
Yeah, it's a red-hot game in a freezing cold gym, Damien, so still cold right now.
Well, it might be cold for us and the fans, but certainly it's heating up on the court with the players.
And the number one thing that just stands out right now is that physicality that the refs are allowing. It definitely makes for a really great viewing for the fans here and the ones watching at home. But for our Bendigo Braves, Turner, as we spoke about, tough to guard. He's causing some problems on that low block, going one-on-one against Majuk, and then Burton making some tough shots. And Mathang doing what he's doing. So we knew the big three would come out for Bendigo, but Chris Hogan doing a really good job of those 2 threes, coming at big times when they need him. But the 3 fouls to him in that first quarter is really going to hurt. So Bendigo's going to have to tap into that rotation. I'd love to see Dyson Daniels come in for them as well.
Great young player, local junior, coming through the ranks.
Who's now at the NBA Global Academy and back for this game. So we'd love to see him. And then for the Frankston Blues, Iggy is definitely doing his thing.
What an opening first turn by Hadziomировich, the captain. And played all 10 minutes, got 8 points.
And it's those little things, it's just pushing, running those lanes hard, getting hands, being disruptive. Those are the little things that have turned into 8 points for him. And then, like Lachlan Barker, he's got 0 points to his name, but you've seen him on the court. He's defending. He's doing all those little things. Great 3 to finish that quarter. And then Bozeman and Young. Exactly what we think coming out of them. Mathang just getting a shot there with the young kids on court.
How good's that? I love it.
He's just trying to get in front of Coach Simon Mitchell's eyes, going, sign me, mate. This is what I'm bringing.
But Hadziomировich does have that ability to not just score. He's a great passer. He's a great defender. He's sort of that jack of all trades that does a bit of everything really well.
And a coach's dream there. Coach's dream.
So Bendigo now going to have first possession to start the second quarter. And if we see what happened in that first term continue throughout the remaining 3 quarters, we've got a cracker on our hands.
Iggy's got 8. Blake Turner's got 6.
So it's interesting to see Burton continues to rest on the bench with Andronicus on in his place as we see. Looks like Majuk's going to pick up a foul. And that's going to be his second. So Frankston now for the first time are going with their 2 big guys together on court at the same time.
Yeah, and it's going to improve a mismatch nightmare for Coach Hogan.
Especially with Turner on the bench at the moment.
But just really looking at the last middle pick and roll there, the reject by Burton, tough. And when he goes downhill tonight, he's showing that he's hard to guard. And they just want to be careful there with those blow-bys because as you saw there, Majuk had to help off pretty heavily. If they get that hard roll and a late help, that's just an automatic 2 points for the Braves.
So Burton now, he's up to 7 points as the Braves extend their lead to 3. Trying to get it to Trist. Guarded by Mao. Trist kicks out to McDonald. Mid-ranger rims out.
That was really well defended by the Braves, doing a great job digging in there, and Triss just putting some doubt in his mind, and then Burton's ability to get a hand out to that shot on McDonald. Again, Burton downhill.
That's a tough shot by Burton.
Just lost his footy in the last second.
And the Blues are off and running again. Who else? Hadziemiric! And Burton got a good piece of ball on that one, but he fell into the back of Hadziemiric.
He got up there, was not expecting that. And again, Iggy out in those lanes, pushing hard.
Burton's probably asking about that one in the first term. Hang on, how's that different? The difference was he fell into him. But there was a good bit of shoulder in that first one. Not that we'll hark on it. It's Hadziemiric at the line. So Hadziemiric now is 1 of 4 from the free throw tonight. I'll say that again, the free throw line tonight. My lips are blue. It's cold. And rattles in the second. Just a shot in it. The crowd getting involved with the defensive chance. Oh, step back 3. Big offensive rebound. Another 3, balls up and in. So Hansen coming up with a big shot of his own. That's his first bucket of the night. He's got 3.
Back to the well again for the Blues.
Good hands by Mao. Saves it. Triss gets it back. It's a ping pong ball.
Get up, big man.
Andronicus blocks Majuk. Oh, end-to-end action here.
That would have got the Braves fans going.
Barker read it like a book. Hadziemiric now. He's going to go all the way. Blocked by Burton. Oh, my. That was huge. He flew from high in the sky. Oh, Burton is the man right now.
What a couple of passages of play, some athleticism right now.
And Burton's in the middle of it all. I called that a layup to Hadziemiric. I thought he was that open.
Barker for 3.
And that rattles out. So the Blues shooting's a bit cold tonight, just like the weather.
And a really good way to get back into the offensive game. He's getting it done defensively, trying to be a bit disruptive here. Get that momentum back. Burton's just proven to be a handful right now for the Blues guards. Need an adjustment on
Turnaround
him.
jumper, that's tough. Majuk sucks it in on the rebound.
And again, Iggy out in those lanes, pushing. Get to that corner. Oh,
Ooh, and hit the ground hard too, but he's straight back up and running.
well, that's a tough finish.
And Mio now, he's pumped. The Braves are pumped, and they've got a 9-point lead, the biggest margin of the game.
But right now, the Blues did a really good job in that first quarter of moving the ball and being patient, feeding the post and trying to find the right shot. You're seeing in the last couple, they've been a little bit rushed in their offense and have come early shots. The early shots for the Blues is not probably the bad thing. They have been pretty successful throughout the year with early shots, but they've been the right shots at a really good tempo. Now they just seemed a little bit rushed. Bozeman will come back into the game. Young's back into the game. Hopefully to bring some of that offensive power back. And then with the Braves, they've just done a really good job of being disruptive with their hands. Burton getting up, and that verticality right there to get in the way of Barker, get in the way of Iggy. And those couple of these hard falls that the Blues have had down this end, I tell you what, they hurt a lot more on a cold night like tonight.
They do, but Deontay Burton has been a live wire. He's got 9 points, 2 massive block shots as well. Getting it done. And of course, Mio started looking like he was going to hit up as well. He's got 6 points for the Blues. 9 points to Hadziemiric, and is yet to take a break in this game.
Well, Iggy goes to the bench tonight, and again, he's just...
There you go, he's got his first break.
He's had this insatiable hunger to get to the rim, and it's been exciting to watch. He deserves a break right now, Damien. He'll catch his breath and then come back to the Blues.
We talk about getting to the rim. and the Blues do such a good job of it. Tonight, they just haven't quite been able to make most of them either. They haven't been able to get that friendly shooter roll.
See here, Frankston just slowing it down.
And that is tough.
And I had a poor angle there. I couldn't see it. Coach Hogan's not happy with the call, but Bozeman will go to the line for 3, and hopefully they'll break the run for the Blues fans, for Bendigo. Just compose, have a chat. You can see Burton doing a great job there leading for the Braves.
But also Bozeman stepping back onto the court. What a good opportunity to get your eye in. 3 free throws.
And take your time.
And he's long on the first. Makes the adjustment. Number 2 goes down. So 6 points to Bozeman. Still a 7-point margin in favour of the Braves.
And the Blues into a 2-3 zone here.
And of course Turner is also back out on the court.
Looking for that overload there by Bendigo.
Tough jumper, it's good. Lloyd.
Tough shot there by Lloyd.
It was, just turned around. No hesitation, I think, was the key.
And after a foul like that on Bozeman before, where a bit of a coach killer, that's one way to get back into the good books with a tough shot like that.
Bozeman gets picked on a tough drive. Muo goes over. And they're just going to settle things down.
Again, Burton in that middle pick and roll.
Short this time. Do they get another offensive rebound? It's Lloyd. This one's up. Hanson's off target. And that's going to be a held ball. That was just 2 strong men not wanting to give it up.
Caught a jump ball there, and the Braves fan right in front of the Braves bench there, so they're not happy about it. I think at the very start of it, they both caught it together.
Yeah, they did.
And then on that way down, Bozeman just got so high against Turner. When Turner's brought the ball down, Bozeman's naturally just gone over. Looking a little bit worse than what it was. But both players are okay, and it will be the Blues ball. Off the jump ball.
Yeah, Bozeman sucking some big ones in now. He hit the floor hard.
Again, they hurt when it's a cold night, mate.
So Will Pearce is on for his first minutes as well. Trist. Oh, Trist! Just all opened up, showing the Burns got some moves.
And Braves did a really good job. Turner just a little bit overzealous on that closeout there, forcing Trist off his line. I'm not sure of what Trist's numbers are from 3.
He's actually fairly good, solid. Kick out, Burton. He gets inside and the handoff to Turner. And Turner finishes through traffic. And that's just a man move right there.
Just letting them know, hit the weight room right there. Big Turner.
Big flex.
Flexing the guns.
And right now, the Braves are still in control as Barker checks out. And Hadsio Merivich is inserted back into the contest.
Make some noise, Frankston.
And Turner makes it a 3-point play. And now the largest lead of the game is 10.
14-5 run in this second quarter right now for the Braves.
And Trist fires top of the key. It's long.
Quick shot there. No rebounders. Braves now come back.
And that's
to their lead.
That shot looked like we need points.
Yeah, it was rushed.
Wide open. 3-ball is good. And the Braves can do no wrong at the moment. Hanson hitting his second from downtown.
And the Braves are just doing a really good job of making contact on the screen and separating quickly, where that tag defender out of the corner. He had to help so aggressively, just leaving Hanson wide open on the shot.
So this crowd that's usually so vocal has been silenced by the Braves. Good defensive play by Turner. Stayed in front of Bozeman, who misfires. Tried to chase his own shot down. And that's Lloyd getting the rebound.
Again, middle pick and roll.
Leo's off target now. This is where the Blues are so effective. Pierce from the corner. That rattles out. Oh, Young virtually took it out of Triss' hands, and it ends up with the Braves.
And that was a better shot by Pierce. In rhythm.
But that's the kind of shot they actually want.
That's right.
Burton nearly gets that to drop as well, so the Braves are in control. But that last possession from the Blues is more what they want to do. Sorry, I'll start that again. It's more of what they want to do more of.
Yeah, great push there. Pierce did a great job of getting behind the ball for a wide open shot. And listen, Blues have found some good shots here with Barker and Pierce, where they've just gone rimmed in and out. You have to live with those. They're the shots you want. Rhythm threes.
And look, they'll hit them. They're not going to miss them all game. I can't see how they're going to do it. They haven't missed those shots all game, every game.
For a Blues fan, you hope that's the case. For the Braves, they're just running on confidence right now. Look at the bench. They're fully into it. Versus the Frankston bench, they're quiet, they're tired, they're sitting down. So you can see the momentums with the Braves. It comes down to defensive end. They're getting hurt out of those pick and rolls.
Can you hear that? There is silence here at Frankston. This is unheard of.
And Mathang's having his way with the crowd, isn't he? He's getting back into the young under-20s and youth leaguers sitting to the left of us.
This is just unheard of at Frankston. They're usually screaming and yelling, and right now it's just dead silence. They're in shock.
Yeah, and it's really, really important to understand that sometimes you're not going to win the game in that first half, but you can lose the game. So it's really important here that Frankston keeps the composure. There's still just under 4 minutes left here. Chip away at it. Try and get this deficit down to 7-8 points going into half-time, and they can build from there.
But all the starters for the Braves have scored 6 points or more. That just shows you how effective they're being right now. As Burton rattles the first in. He's the first player into double figures for the contest. He's got 10. Makes the second as well. So now it's a 15-point margin, and this is not a position the Blues have been in virtually the whole second half of the season. So Bozeman, Hadziemirovic. They go to Trist against Turner. Quick kick out. Pierce is long. Somehow, Bozeman gets it and fouled. Burton, that's Turner, acknowledges it was him. And Bozeman, well, they needed something and they got it from Bozeman.
Bozeman doing just a good job of being physical and having that physical presence, especially in the key, trying to find a shot. He was crowded there by all the Braves players and managed to find a way up. They just need that physicality on the other end now.
So Harms during the week spoke about the energy and absorbing that energy from the crowd. Well, there's no energy from this crowd at the moment. Bozeman's long on the first, but gets it back.
And he up and goes again.
Oh, and he misses the layup. That is a rarity that you see Bozeman miss a basket like that.
Braves just going back to that middle pick and roll. They know they have the advantage.
Oh my, Mr. Turner with the putback. Coach Hogan said during the week he didn't think the Blues could stop Turner. Turner's now got 11. Hadziemirovic, he's fouled shooting three. Oh, they played such a good defensive possession there, the Braves, and then they give him a reprieve by fouling Hadziomировich.
Mathang just pointing out to the referee, feels that Iggy stuck the foot out there, but just needs to be really a lot smarter. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage here with a 15-point lead. Don't want to be sending the line for one that was missing and missed pretty well there.
Oh, the Braves, that's exactly the kind of shot they wanted. The Blues shooting a late shot clock, three-pointer off balance. And now Hadziomировich has a chance to turn a 15-point deficit back to 12.
This deficit won't change for the Blues until they adjust that middle pick-and-roll defense.
Yeah. Burton's carving him up.
And then once he goes downhill, everybody's having to help so aggressively. They've just got open shooters all around the court.
So Hadziomировich turns around his free throw shooting woes, making all three, and it's back to 12. Inside 3 minutes to halftime.
Now they're
hands in by Young, and that's going to be shooting 2.
See the point guard there for the Braves. Gave the strongman flex signal. Looks like for that they want to go to Turner and isolate him in a one-on-one matchup, as you just saw then.
So subdued crowd here at Frankston. Most unusual. And there's a reason behind it. The Braves are in control. And the crowd feel like they got a victory.
Right now they've got to take them where they can. A lot hasn't gone their way so far.
And misses both. And the crowd are letting him know all about it.
Oh.
And they've just thrown it away. Well, that's kind of the story of the first half, really. Not taking anything away from the Braves because they've been sensational. But just to highlight, the Braves are shooting 50% from the field. The Blues, who are normally up around 50, 55%, they're shooting 36.
Yeah, well, the Blues on the year are averaging 40.3% from three. So,
and right now, the Blues from three-point land are just 1 of 10. 10%.
and Braves just doing a good job of carrying a hand, getting out there, making sure it's a contested three. Here we go again. That middle pick and roll.
Pull up jumper's short, ends up with Barker. And he's going to push the tempo.
They've got the advantage. Maintain it.
Oh, lovely handoff. Majuk's been good from that distance this season, but he prefers to be around the free throw line extended. So he's probably out of his comfort zone.
And he was a little bit off balance when he caught that, so it took a little bit longer to get off, which turned into more of a rush shot towards the end.
Turner, guarded by Trist. Hands in by Hadsi. That's tough. And the Blues come away with possession. That could have been anyone's.
And that was good there by Iggy, just digging in, getting a hand there, trying to make it a little bit tougher for Turner, but he's just having a game so far. Wouldn't have been surprised if he nailed that.
Turner and Burton both have 11 for the Braves. Hadziomировich leads the Blues with 12. And that was the right idea, just a slow pass though. It was very slow.
And you see there, all four Braves players digging in right there before the balls got there. So Frankston start using their pass fakes. Look down, pass fakes. Guys on the outside need to be ready to shoot. And good job there by Barker.
Barker tried to put it in, couldn't finish. Burton for three. Big rebound by Hadziomировich, and the Blues are off and running. One out with Turner is Majuk. Muscles his way inside and misses the easy juice. Well, it was nearly too easy for Majuk on that possession. Turner just stepped back and said, well,
pulled the chair.
I'm too deep.
He did a really good job there of pulling the chair, made Majuk a little bit off balance. It just didn't have the legs to get up and finish. And Burton, pick and roll.
And did
Burton
you see
coming
that?
Downhill.
Turner rolled and they guarded Turner and it just opened up for Burton. So 14 points, still a 2-possession finish to this second period before we head into halftime. So the Blues need a score desperately. And it's a 1-out ISO possession, off balance runner by Hadziomировich, and that is not a great possession by the Blues. Hanson! Oh, that would have hurt. 3 seconds to play. Hadziomировich fires the prayer, and that'll be halftime here at Frankston. And it's the Bendigo Braves, the visitors, the team that finished 8th during the regular season. They've been the stronger team of this first half. They're leading 44-30. And Ash, the Blues have got a lot of work ahead of them.
It's that middle pick and roll right now that is causing all the damage. And I know it's Burton and Turner that's in the pick and roll that's doing the damage, but because the Braves have been able to make that shot, that two-man game now includes all 5 players. They're doing a great job of spacing on the perimeter, putting doubt in that help defender's mind. Do I go? Do I stay? Because the last couple of times they have helped aggressively, it's gone bang back to the shooter, and it's been a 3-point for the Braves. So they're doing an excellent job of having all 5 players in the action.
And certainly their starting lineup has been nothing short of sensational. They've all scored 6 points or more, led by Burton's 13. He's also got 4 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 steals up until halftime. Turner with 11 points and 6 rebounds. For the Blues, Hadziomировich has been clearly their best offensive threat in that first half. 12 points, he's got 3 rebounds. And Bozeman, he's next best with 8. And so the Blues have their work ahead of them. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time for all the second half action here at Frankston in this NBL1 preliminary final between the Bendigo Braves and the Frankston RSL Blues. Welcome back to our coverage here at Frankston Basketball Stadium for the preliminary final between the number 2 seeded Frankston Blues and the number 8 ranked Bendigo Braves. I'm Damien Arsenis from the pickandroll.com.au. Joining me tonight is Basketball Victoria's Ash Arnott. And Ash, it's a 44-30 lead to the Braves. And what do Frankston need to do in this third period and in fact the second half to get back into it?
First and most important is adjust that middle pick and roll defense right now. Burton and Turner are really damaging out of that, and so when Burton's able to get those hips downhill, he's been able to create and turn everything into a score. Offensively, they need to start pushing the ball, Frankston, getting back to that early start where Iggy was out in lanes, Bozeman was pushing, Young was taking the ball out of the rebound and pushing and getting the momentum going for the Blues. They need to do that.
And for the Braves, what do they do to close this one out and seal their spot in the grand final next week?
Well, that middle pick and roll is definitely working for them, so it'll be interesting to see if they go straight away to that. And then defensively, they did an excellent job in that second quarter, just pulling them up, slowing them down. We did speak about it. Frankston wants to play fast, and Bendigo's happy to go, all right, guys, we're going to slow you up. We'll change up our defenses. We're going to halt the transition from the rebound. So they've done a very good job of that early pickup and location. So for Bendigo, they want to take away those possessions from Frankston. They want to continue to make them work out of that ball screen and just get the shooters open.
So for Bendigo, all 5 of their starters have scored 6 points or more, led by 11 from Turner, 13 to Burton. And Hadsio Mirovic is the only Blues player with 12 tonight.
And for the Blues, Barker needs to get going.
He does. He hasn't scored yet. He's certainly had some open looks that haven't gone down. Alistair McDonald coming off the bench hasn't been able to score. These guys have provided some scoring punch throughout the air. Now, Barker's shown he can have a 20-point game, but he's also a great complementary play. He doesn't need to get 20 a game.
He doesn't need to, but I think right now this is the game where they need Barker, and he can score very fast. Damien, he can get going. That's what they need from him. And then remember, for the Braves, Hogan's back in the game. He has 3 fouls. He sat for most of that second, so he's going to be fresh to really attack this third quarter.
So on court, we've got Turner, Burton, Meyer, Hanson, and Hogan. While Majuk, Young, Hadsio Mirovic, and Barker are with Bozeman. Hanson getting inside, can't finish. And foul's called. So it looks like that was on Bozeman.
You know what to do, Frankston?
Not quite sure who that one was on. I was just watching that Braves huddle. Mathang is just a great teammate. Straight away, arm around Hanson, bringing the energy from the start of this third, and you can just see he just enjoys playing. He loves it.
Oh, and he's been playing up to the crowd all game as well, joining in with a shootout at quarter time, having a ball. But it's a 16-point margin in favour of the Braves. Majuk to Young. Goes hard at the rim. And that's a positive start by the Blues. And that's where Young can be so effective. Such an athletic player. Burton is going to go to Turner. Can't finish.
Again, Young starting the break from the rebound.
Pull up 3 in transition by Barker. Majuk! Majuk with a follow-up basket. And the Blues are on a 4-point scoring run.
And you'll live with that shot from Barker. You know he can knock it down, but great job by Majuk to rim run in that scenario, get his head on the rim and get the O board.
Burton with a floater, pulled down by Majuk.
And they're off again.
And when a foul is called on Mao.
And that's Mathang's third there. Third foul.
So 3 to him, 3 to Hogan. And we spoke about this off air before the show, before the game started. If the Blues can get some of those star players for the Braves in foul trouble, They just don't have the scoring depth coming off the bench that the Blues possess. An errant pass, it was deflected in the backcourt by the Braves. Shot clock's running down. Bozeman bullies his way inside. Oh, and it was tipped in by Turner. Well, it's a 6-0 run now by the Blues, courtesy of Ray Turner,
and
with a helping hand.
It's just been that pace has picked up from Frankston, but they're under control this time. They're making good decisions.
And like you go back to that Barker missed three, that was actually a good transition three. He had rebounders. He had people running the floor. Hanson into Turner. Young, Bozeman. Deflections. The Blues are running again. He lost the handle.
And we've got Turner down
now. No, Turner's holding his knee. This does not look good for the Braves or Turner.
And what happened there, when Turner went down there, Damien, a Frankston player was right in front of Turner, and then one of the other Frankston boys, I don't know which one, dove after that loose ball. Now what happened there is when Turner went to move and grab the ball, his leg was locked against that Frankston player on the ground. So it wasn't malicious in any way. It was just an awkward turn. He's just holding the knee.
And the player that was going in for it late was Young in first, and then Bozeman came in with the second deflection.
And you see the respect there by the Frankston boys just coming in to check on him.
So this is very unlike Ray Turner. He must be hurt.
But he is a tough man, Damien, and I have no doubt that he'll continue. Oh, he's just saying that he feels a little bit weak on that left knee there.
If it's the left knee, that's the one that there's no brace on as well. He's got a brace on his right knee.
I believe he has to sub now because the physio has walked onto the court. So
yes,
he'll quickly go to the bench and get a check-up.
Well, he seems to be walking okay at the moment, but he will have to check out, so Adronicus will come in.
He's saying he's fine, but yeah, he's just been told he has to sub because the physio.
And the coach knows. He's just going to, hey, mate, just going to give you a break for a sec. You have to come off. So it looks like there's a positive sign, although he was slow to get up and he's still looking ginger. He seems to be moving freely enough. They might just give him some tests on the sideline just to make sure he's okay. Well, we hope he's okay because Ray Turner has been one of the driving forces for this Bendigo Braves run in the playoffs, let alone tonight.
He's been tough tonight, Damien, no doubt about it.
11 points and 6 rebounds.
Now I'm expecting Mew here to really step up. He's already got the ball to be a bit more aggressive, and
bang!
There it is.
Mio, he's more than capable of knocking those shots down.
I said Mew, my bad.
So the Blues go to Young. He pulls up on Mio. It's long. Majuk with a big offensive rebound. He's got Andronicus deep. Throws it wide of Barker. Again, it was actually the right idea. The double team was coming. The pass was just off target.
Tough rebound there by Majuk. He was low. He was balanced. Just needed Lockie Barker to move with him to be in line of his eyesight on that pass. In Barker's defence, everyone thought Majuk was going to shoot that.
Man, such a quality shooter, putting the moves on Hadziemirovic, doing a fantastic job. Oh, Mio! Mio Mai! That was super tough. And it's a 14-point lead to the Braves. What can the Blues do? They go to Young. Spins, the double team comes, stripped. Great play by Burton. Good defensive play there by Bozeman. And there's going to be an over-the-back foul.
Burton did a really good job on that.
That's on Hadziemirovic.
On that finish, he kept the ball high that allowed him to get that ball off. Against Barker, I believe that was against Barker on that one-on-one.
No, it's Hadziemirovic. He got picked up the foul. Came over the back. Not quite sure what they're conversing about here. I'm still a bit lost.
They're just double checking the shot clock. It was at 18, now it's gone to 14.
Oh, great defensive play by Hadziemirovic.
And Hanson had something else in mind there and just letting it be
Tough
known.
shot by Bozeman. He wants the foul. None of forthcoming. And as you said early in the game, the referees are letting him play.
And the players need to now make that adjustment. It's falling away from those finishes, trying to get the foul. They're just not, it's not coming for them, so they need to be strong.
Oh, Mio played it well as soon as Bozeman reached in. Went up to shoot. And right now, Mio is feeling it.
Well, there was a time to pounce for the Blues. They were on a 6-0 run. Started the quarter the right way.
And then and then Turner went down with his sore knee as well. And that really stopped the momentum.
Sang just finding his buddies in the crowd here, the Frankston juniors, who started probably a little bit too early with him.
But good news for Braves though, Turner is back out there.
And that's why they needed to pounce. They had Turner on the bench, getting his knee checked. But this man right here has done an awesome job of just getting the Braves going in this third quarter.
Doesn't he love the crowd though? He loves it. And this is what the sport needs. These personalities get involved in a great fun way. He's in a hostile environment, shooting 3 free throws. And he's made 2 out of 3.
Just letting the Braves teammates know, get around him. He wants his high fives. And he now has 7 straight for the Braves.
He does, and does not look like missing either. And now the Braves. Oh, picked off on an errant pass by Hadziemirovic. That pass was almost pedestrian. Here we go, they're going straight back to Murray. No, they want to go to Burton.
Young doing a great job battling in there.
Meo, this time he's long, and it's going to be an over-the-back foul on Hanson.
And why not? He's hot, he's feeling it, get him the ball.
Certainly not afraid to just shape up and shoot over the top.
Now the Blues here, they're not going to win it in this quarter. They need to chip away. The aim here at 17 points right now. That aim is to get into the single digits before the last quarter.
One of the things I've been very impressed with by the Braves, have really slowed down their Blues running game. They haven't been able to get off at all.
You just see this Blues offense. Everything about it is really tight. They're second-guessing shots, passes.
Young can't finish through traffic. He hit the deck hard. Now it's Burton pushing the tempo. Lloyd from the corner for 3. Oh, Turner. Turner! He's back. The Braves are in front, and they're leading by 19 midway through the third term. Wow, the Braves are not going away.
That one stings, and Mathang just getting the crowd going. That's the noise you can hear in the background here. It's that little Braves crowd who are up and about right now, and a very stunned Frankston crowd. The Blues are getting some good looks. They're just Young on that one. Great drive. You thought he was going to go off 2 feet and bang that in the last second, but just went with an up and under double pump when he could have probably just laid it up. He had the advantage. And we keep talking about it. The referees are letting the game be physical.
I think it's been great.
It has been really good.
I think it's been great, but Frankston shooting just 34% from the field. Bendigo 44%. The Blues just 1 of 12 from downtown.
And a team that averages 40% field goal percentage from the 3, only shooting 8% right now. There is that big deficit that's hurting the Blues.
It is. It's really hurting them. You know, if they hit 3 or 4 other 3-pointers, that's that 19-point margin all of a sudden is just a few baskets. So the crowd now trying to find their feet and getting behind the Blues. But again, look, the lack of movement, the Blues offense at the moment. They finally get it to Young. 1 out, just bullies his way in. McDonald is long.
But that was better offense by the Blues there. Young just being aggressive, and you saw with the penetration, McDonald moved to the corner, moved with the penetration to that diagonal spot. Iggy got to the corner. They had better spacing. That's the shot they wanted. In rhythm 3. It's time for the Blues boys now to start knocking them down.
So the Blues got a break. Foul called on the offensive boards. McDonald from way downtown.
Braves doing a great job of not getting screened. They're fighting around these screens, just making life hard for the Blues.
Hanson was open. Barker recovers. Turner. Now Burton. He was a live wire in that first half. Well read by Hadziemirovic. Saves it. Oh, veteran play. Barker can't finish, but Trist has run the floor. Young left open. He fires. He's airballed it. Well.
And look at the body language right now from the Blues bench and the players on court. Just slumped shoulders, drop of their heads. They need to find something.
Kind of feel that if Barker had made that layup, they would have had the energy they normally do, but can't get the easy ones to go either.
Look at this ball movement by the Braves.
Hanson feeds Turner. He's fouled. I think that's Hadziemirovic, and it'll be number 3 if it is.
And right there, those two passages of play, it stands out in the difference of the game style right now. The Braves are moving that ball with confidence. No second guessing. They catch it, looking to shoot. It's a one more penetration. They space, kick out, look to shoot. And they're just playing with that advantage until they find the right shot. Where the Blues, that ball's being moved once or twice. Not much movement on the penetration. They're rushing shots. They're taking shots further out. They're taking contested shot versus those uncontested shots.
So Turner gets the second to go. He's 2 of 5 from the line tonight. Now has 14 points to lead the Braves and lead all scorers. And they still can't hit from the perimeter. Travel has been called on the Braves. That's a tough break. Both players had a hold of it. Hadziemirovic let go, and there is another preliminary final on tonight. It's in Ballarat. It's the number 1 Miners hosting the Nunawading Spectres, and it's the Spectres leading by 11 points with almost midway through the third term. So we could be looking at a couple of boilovers tonight, Ash.
And I think it comes back to that argument, that week off. Does it really impact them?
Trist somehow gets the circus shot to fall. It's kind of the basket the Blues needed, really, wasn't it, Ash?
Yeah, it was a great take there by Trist. Physical, managed to get it up there. We know Frankston could score in really quick patches. The aim, again, chip away. If he makes this, it's back to a 17-point lead. Can the Blues get it to 10 or a single-digit deficit by the third quarter? It gives them a chance. The way the Braves are playing, though, it just seems they're a little bit unstoppable with that offensive end. The ball is just moving with ease.
It's also the defence, which I've been very impressed with. They've been able to clog it up and take away the running game.
And just put in a lot of doubt in every Frankston Blues player. You see young Dyson Daniels has now entered the court.
Yes, he is, of course. What a prospect he is.
We're gonna see him doing some great things for a lot of years to come. Blues in a 1-3-1 zone here.
Lloyd double teamed in the corner. Gets it to Daniels, into Turner, who's doubled. Good pressure, good ball movement. Daniels hands off to Lloyd. Short corner, can't get it to drop. And now the Blues are running. This is where they're dangerous. And that's Lloyd giving up the foul. They're over the limit. So we'll be shooting free throws, I believe. So timeout called here at Frankston. with 2:23 to play in the third. The Blues trying to start a run. They're down by 17 points with Hadsio Mirovic shooting 2 at the line.
They get it back down to 15. I think a really good time out there by Coach Hogan with the Braves. Feel a little bit of a momentum shift and just saying, hey, we're going to settle it down. We don't want Frankston to get going too much leading into this fourth quarter. So a timely time out there. And you can just feel there's been a lift in the energy in the crowd. It could be the let me test my English here, the free thongs being thrown out.
Steph Reed leading the Lady Blues out there with the giveaways to the crowd, trying to get them involved. Again, this is one of the things at Frankston this season and last, the men and the women sticking around and supporting each other.
Yeah, they've definitely changed the environment around here where it's a culture people want to be a part of, and you can see that by the crowd. So credit to all the people who've been involved in Frankston for the last year or two.
Well, the likes of Jared Moss and Steph Reed and Nigel Young do a lot of work with the juniors down here at Frankston, and you can see that paying dividends with the crowd here tonight. 2 straight sellouts here at Frankston, but with the Blues all up against it at the moment. The Braves are having a fantastic night and have really taken away the Blues running game. Hadsio Mirovic now can make it 15. And you've been here in this position before. Is it psychological if they can get it to that 10-point barrier? Somewhere around that 10 points, hey, we can do this.
Yeah, a belief starts to come, and you'll find they'll loosen up with their shots when they've got that momentum. They'll take a little bit more risk that can go their way.
Burton lost the handle. Triss got the body in. And Burton will head to the line for 2. Looking to try and extend the margin back to 18. We've got some substitutions. Tom Garrett is checking in for his first minutes tonight. Of course, Tom left the team after their opening final victory to join his college team, Metro State.
Some pretty famous alumni from Australia have gone there.
You know, many a boomer have actually come through that program. Joined the team on their Costa Rican tour. Of course, colleges are allowed to go on a overseas trip once every 4 years, and he hasn't quite got his US visa ready, so he had to come back to Australia and suit up for the Blues.
Well, let's see what he can do for the Mighty Blues right now. They need something from him.
They certainly do. 18-point margin. And Bozeman, he's got 10 points. Kind of feel he needs to step up. Done so many times this season. Trista's now doubled. Tried to force it through, and Hansen, I think, is going to pick up a foul. And we're going to see more free throws. I've got a feeling we're going to see a lot of free throws throughout the remainder of this game.
Yeah, we've got some tired bodies out there. It's played at a frantic pace. As the bodies get tired, they tend to reach a little bit more. Play defense with their hands, less with their feet, which is causing a few more foul calls this half.
Missed free throw by Trist. We talk about the Blues' three-point shooting tonight, just 1 of 15. As Trist hits that one. They're 10 of 16 from the line as well, so. Lloyd, baseline drive. Burton. Barker gets up for the rebound. Bozeman. The long rebound is tracked down by Hansen, and now Burton again. Look at the passing. The Braves have had such good spacing. And this time Burton loses it. Again, you mentioned tired bodies. He looks pretty tired at the moment. So 1:19 to play in the third. 17 points. Again, a chance just to try and get to that 15, 14-point mark.
Looks like the Braves No, they've gone into man-to-man. It looked like a zone to start with.
Long two is short by Bozeman. He hasn't been able to get going tonight. I can't even think whether he's hit an outside shot or not. In fact, it's been a rarity for any Blues player to hit an outside shot tonight.
That's right. And when it comes down to it, Blues just aren't making shots right now, and the Braves are. That's the big difference right here.
Hansen off target this time. So inside the final minute of the third. This crowd is subdued. And running just ISO play here at the moment. Oh, Young just beats his way in.
That's a great move there by Young. 2 feet. Way to get physical.
Now the Braves are smart here. They'll take the last shot of the period. So 15 points. The Blues can keep it at this 15 points that one kind of feels psychologically they could be in the game. Turner, he's got the mismatch with Barker. But Burton gets it done on the buzzer. And it's been Burton's night. He puts his team up by 17, heading into the final change. And Ash, it's all up here for the Blues.
Yeah, Burton, just on that last move, we talked about it on his one of his last moves he did to the basket. He keeps that ball so high when attacking. It's so hard to change or contest. And he's able to get it up with ease. And Turner, Burton, Methane, these three have just been a huge difference in the game. They are making shots when it matters, and the Blues right now cannot make any shots. We talked about it before. 1 of 16 from 3. On a team that averages 40% from the three-point line on the season. They are shooting 6% right now, 58% from the free throw line.
32% from the field overall.
And
this is arguably one of their worst shooting nights of the year.
And it comes down to, you want to win games, you got to make shots. I know it sounds silly, but right now, Braves just giving a masterclass and when to make big shots.
Well, the funny thing is, if you look at how many shots taken, the Blues have taken one more shot than the Braves tonight.
Yeah, and you can see the Blues have been able to, in that third quarter, they're starting to get their break going again, but they're just not making those shots.
23 to 10 second term helps set up this big margin. And they managed to hold on for another 3-point edge in that third period. And the Braves are in the box seat to make an inaugural NBL1 Grand Final. But there is another big game on tonight, Ash.
Right now,
we'll do a score check. So if you don't want to know the score, please turn off your sound.
I'll give him a moment to turn that sound off, but looks like with a minute and a half to go on the third, Nuttawading is leading Ballarat 57-47. So nice. That'll probably be a tight contest going into that fourth quarter. This game's not over yet, Damien. But I'll tell you what, it's nearly over. If the Blues do not get going from the start here, the Braves will be making their way to an NBL1 Grand Final next week.
Well, if there's any team in this competition that can light it up in quick time, it is the Blues. We've seen it throughout the year. It's going to be difficult, though, because the Braves tonight have not looked like taking a backward step.
And they have little room for error right now. You can just see the Braves right now, chests are out. They're confident. They're ready to go.
And even for the Blues, it kind of feels like they need the first 2 or 3 buckets here. Get the crowd behind them. They love the energy. It suits their style of game, that high up-tempo pace. It's a good start, getting that ball through hands. Trist backs his way down. Double team comes. Kick out. Garrett. He's off target. Too easy. Oh, he blew the layup. I think I've done that to Hadsio Mirovic earlier as well. Put the mocker on him. Barker. Trist is quickly doubled. Bozeman. Another big offensive
That's the start
rebound.
they need.
So it's the Blues with the first points of the fourth quarter.
They've gone to a 1-3-1 here. Trist in the middle.
Mio over the backboard. Turner rips it in, spins and scores.
And because it didn't hit anything on the backboard there, those extra, what do you call them?
Supports.
Support system. Sorry, I had a blank there, Damien. It wasn't a violation. The Blues players stopped and Turner was able to capitalise. But still, there's plenty of time.
Double team comes and it's picked away by Burton. Trist was way too slow to recognise the double team.
Damien, he does have, looks like he has heavy legs. Same with Majuk. I think we've got to remember they have been in NBL camps all week. Majuk with the Perth Wildcats and Trist.
Bang goes Hogan.
And Hogan with another 3. That hurts.
That's a dagger because now it's 20. It is the largest lead of the game. And the Blues are going to have to pull something out special if they're going to get back into this. And Bozeman, well, he's someone that's capable of it. And so Bozeman now up to 14 points.
And that's
Look
the
at
energy.
the hustle. And it's Damon Bozeman. He's trying to put the Blues on his back and get them back into this contest.
And great job there by Bozeman.
And I like this sub actually. Hadzian Merivich coming back in for Barker. Barker's tried to get going and just hasn't been able to get his shot in rhythm tonight.
The Braves have done a great job with their scout, taking away Barker's shots that he normally gets. Again, going back, Majuk looking to check in now. They need something from Majuk. And it just came to my attention before. He has been in Perth all week. So we're talking about Trist, we're talking about Majuk. There's heavy legs. They are looking a little bit tired. Does that make a difference tonight in the way they've played? We've seen some really good performances, but all credit to Turner. He has been a mismatch nightmare for the Braves.
Yeah, so Trist and Majuk were back at training on Thursday night with the Blues, but they were at camp, as you mentioned. Probably a bit more taxing for Majuk. If anything, Burton to beat the shot clock. And Andronicus.
But just look at that. They are rebounding hard, Bendigo. They are everywhere right now. The Blues need to find some energy somewhere.
Is it this man? He's already got 4 points in this term. Bozeman. Trist steps up for 3. Hanson chases it down. Again, not quite sure that's the shot the Blues want. Mio calls for it. Guarded by Young. And that's just clever by Mio. Shooter. Hands in, shoot through the hand. He's done that twice tonight. And a timeout is called by the Blues because time is running out for the Blues with 6:48 to play. It's an 18-point lead, but with Mio at the line.
And he's just been so tough, so smart there. He felt Nigel Young's hand go over his wrist and did a great job just ripping up into his shot. They have just brought more energy. They've played smarter. They've made the big shots at the big times. They've got all the momentum that's run back all the way from week 1 of the finals, and all credit to the Braves right now. They are doing a hell of a job at both ends of the floor. They have stuck to their scout. They've held up Frankston Blues. And right now the Blues are looking at each other. It seems that Bozeman is the only one right now saying, get on my back, come with me, boys.
But again, even with that, it becomes isolation.
It has, yes.
And that becomes even harder for Bozeman to do something. And really, that teamwork, that running game, the sharing the ball, the running, the pushing, the Braves have taken that all away right now.
Yeah.
And it's been so hard for the Blues to get back in it because that's been their formula of success. And of course, in one of the biggest games of the year, their shooting has also deserted them.
Absolutely. And you just look at Mathang right now. He's just smiling, just a little smirk over our way. He must be somehow listening in.
He's got the earpiece in as well.
And his confidence right now, that swagger, the rest of his Braves teammates are feeding off it. And as I take a look to the deep corner, Majuk has just walked around the corner with the physio.
He's sore. And I'd be very surprised if we're going to see him back tonight. You're a Perth Wildcat fan. He looks okay, but he's a bit ginger. I don't think it's anything serious. Nice
Great
lob
ball
pass.
movement there.
And
you
one!
go.
Quick score by Young out of the timeout.
And that was good action there, deliberate movements. Great screen, good separation by Young. Didn't get on that initial roll, but did a great job of holding the seal. And that high-low action with Dan Trist. They need more of it right now.
And that's something we haven't seen from the Blues tonight either. Trist with an entry pass in.
Yep.
And Trist is a fantastic passer from the high post.
So
That
now
was
it's a
full court
17,
pressure.
full court pressure. Good change up of defense. Now trying to rush Bendigo. They've got to stay with it. Oh,
That's a
silly
foul.
foul in the end.
That's a ridiculous foul.
The
There's
Blues.
6.5 to play.
And that's just a tired foul right there. You see their hands were a lot more active than the feet. And he's such a competitive beast, Dan Trist.
Oh, he is. It's almost a tired / frustration foul. But the Braves, they continue to go to the well. The fans just asked for Mio's autograph.
And Bozeman being active there with his hands. He's got such length. Trying to get his hands in there and be disruptive.
Mio guarded by Young. Again, Young's got to watch that hand in because Mio will shoot through it. Great defense. Oh, no. Mio loves it. Young doesn't. Young is biting his tongue right now. Tough call on Young. Is going to see Mio go to the line. And time is running out for the Blues.
Give it to him, Frankston.
He's just stepping up and making veteran plays, isn't he? I guarantee you he makes this one, there's going to be a reaction to the crowd. I guarantee you. There it is. Little head nod. I'm back.
Let's go, Frankston. Let's go.
So Mio now has 16 points. Turner 16. Burton 17.
Great pass. Good job there by Trist. Good roll out of it. And it seems to be working that side pick and roll there, lifting the big and on that high-low action, just being a little bit more aggressive for the Blues.
So some good full court pressure. Shot clock's now down to 10. We're going to go one out and ride Mio. And that's been tapped out by Hansen. So a stop there by the Blues. Glimmer of hope.
And when you're hot, you got to ride it. I love what Mathang's doing right now for the Braves. Again, they've gone for that high-low. Good spacing there by Bozeman.
Burton picks up the foul.
And it seems though the refs have started to call this a little bit differently now.
It has definitely changed. That wouldn't have been called in the first half.
So this is where it becomes difficult for the players trying to make that adjustment.
We saw it at the other end with Young picking up a foul as well on the shot. That wouldn't have been called in the first half either. McDonald. He's long, but the long rebound comes out to Young.
Trist in the corner.
He's short. So the Blues' three-point shooting continues to struggle. 1 of 20. That's unheard of. So Young fronting Burton in the post.
Good defense there by Young and Bozeman with the ball pressure.
Tough shot. Again, Mio. Mio has stepped up in this fourth term.
Good job by Bozeman trying to get on the head on the rim.
Try as they may. It's the Braves making the plays, and Young picks up a foul. And good pressure by the Blues, but Right now it seems like the Braves have every answer.
And they have. They've had an answer to every move the Blues have tried. Every try the Blues have tried to get going,
And Young has just
the Braves
fouled
have
out.
come back. And the way it looks right now, that is Young done for
That's
the
Young
2019 season.
And there's your best defensive player out of the game as well. One of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year, along with the likes of Deng Ackworth out of Ballarat. And there's more talking with the crowd. Now it's Burton chatting away. I think the Bendigo guys are loving the crowd.
You can see they feed off it. The crowd hasn't impacted these guys right now tonight.
Well, it's almost they're feeding off that negative response from the crowd, and they're channeling it in a positive way. The big pick by Turner. Mismatch. Hadsio Mirivic played Turner well. That'll hurt. And that is just about the icing on the cake for the Braves. Mio. And Barker finally, he breaks the drought for the Blues. Just their second three-pointer of the night. His first points of the game.
Oh, and that's a foul.
And that was a tied foul.
Well, again, I come back to that just was not called in the first 3 quarters, and now they've all of a sudden said it's my time. My time to shine, guys.
So we're shooting 2 shots the rest of the way.
And that easily you could. It was a physical. Well, it wasn't even that physical, but
No.
Iggy got his hands in. You just go, that's Bendigo's ball, and you play out of that.
But like everyone, the referees are under pressure. They get tired as well.
And hasn't this guy, Chris Hogan, been tough tonight? Has just made the shots he's needed to make, played his role, defended well.
Oh, and we've got a nail biter out at Ballarat. We won't tell you anything yet, but that's going the wire. Triss finishes the missed bucket by Bozeman. So it's still a 17-point margin and the Braves are in command. So if you're tuning in from Bendigo, big fan out that way. Looks like your club is heading to the grand final. Good
job.
defense.
Keeping the ball high there by Burton.
Bozeman can't get the circus shot to go. And
That's the story of the night right there.
they've missed so many of those opportunities tonight, the Blues, whereas quite often they hit them at a very high clip. And just hasn't been their night shooting. But all credit to the Braves. They deserve this victory.
And
Mio! This fourth quarter belongs to that man, and he's silenced the crowd. It's a 20-point margin, and Bendigo are headed to the inaugural NBL1 Grand Final. Now, if you want to know what's happening in Ballarat, you might want to just turn the sound off just for a moment, because in Ballarat, we have a ball game on our hands. It's a 1-point ball game, and it's Ballarat have stolen the lead.
wow.
And that's in the final 2 minutes as well. So it's all happening up the road at Ballarat. And it's the country folk down here in Frankston. The Bendigo Braves may well be the first team into the NBL1 Grand Final. And they have silenced one of the most vocal and boisterous crowds in the league. They've restricted Frankston to 33% shooting. They've hit just 2 of 21 from downtown, and this is a team that shoots the 3 ball and shoots from the field well over 40% throughout the season. McDonald He's going to step back and shoot the three. He gets it to go. So their last 2 3-point attempts have gone down, but it's all now coming too late.
And they've just broken the press so easily, the Braves. Just give this man the ball. He is proving.
Clear out, give him the ball.
Grab your popcorn. He's doing some amazing things right now.
Here comes a screen. And it was this man in the first half. That's tough. And Burton nearly gets it to fall. Burton was certainly the live wire in the first half. How were some of his block shots in that first half? Nearly hit the roof. But it's been the fourth quarter has all been Mio. Hadsio Mirovic gives him the congratulatory tap on the backside.
And hasn't this guy led from the front tonight, Burton from the Braves?
All the talk's about Turner, MVP candidate, but tonight it's been this man.
This man and Mathang. The show.
The show, I love it.
Great move there. Ooh.
Oh dear, that was a heavy hit.
Didn't know he had
The Bozeman
pops like
went
that.
to throw that one down, didn't he? He's going to head to the line to shoot a couple. But if you're tuning in from Bendigo, enjoy it while it lasts. You're all going to the grand final.
And the floor wipers have been on the ball today. They've been active with the amount of falls.
There's been quite a few heavy falls tonight. And of course, this is the last game of the season for the home sides Ballarat and Frankston. The grand final heading to the State Basketball Centre on Saturday night in Wanturna South. Make sure you book your tickets online at NBL1.com.au. The Blues are just not going to give up. They're going to fight this one out to the death. Somehow Burton hangs on to it. And this will be a famous victory. Mio kicks out this time. Oh, Hogan. And that's it. They've hit their open shots tonight.
It's just been the difference.
And Hadsio Mirovic gets a consolation basket.
That makes it 3 of 23 for the Blues and 8 of 25 for the Braves.
So the Blues have won the battle in the paint. They've actually scored 40 points to the Braves 30. But it's been the outside shooting that's been the difference. Well, when you shoot 34% from the field and the opposition shoots at 43% and you've only hit a couple of three-pointers, it's always going to be hard.
Absolutely. And you see in the background the bench and the crowd for Bendigo erupting. Turner and Hogan taking a seat.
And isn't this great for Daniels? On court, final minute.
And Mathang, relentless, mate. He's still going. Still going, the young Frankston guys on the side here. Just letting them know.
Been great experience for these young players coming up through NBL1. Guys like Daniels. Of course, Frankston have got Garrett. Guys coming through, get this exposure, playing against grown men, play professionally. And then they go off to college or wherever, whether it's the academy like Daniels. Then they come back with, or maybe not come back and go on to bigger and better things.
And that's always the hope when they take off on a journey like that. This won't be the last time we do talk about a player like Dyson Daniels.
And
his future is just so bright. And
look at Mio now, living it up. They love him. And I think there'll be a few Blues fans that will actually walk away going, gee, he's a top guy.
Hey, credit to him. He's had fun. He's enjoyed the atmosphere that the Blues have brought here tonight.
Garrett hits from deep. So the Blues have hit, their last 3 or 4 3-pointers. But it's all come too late.
Just needed that a little bit early in the game, Damien.
But Garrett hitting a 3-pointer may well be his last points. There's 30 seconds to go as a Blue before heading off to Metro State. And the Mossy chants have started now. Benches cleared for both teams. They want Daniels to shoot. Kick out, 3-ball. Oh! The Braves can do no wrong. It's been their night. Rayner getting it to go. Pierce hands off to Howie, who's blocked by Andronicus. Well, that just tells you everything about tonight. It was the Bendigo's night here at Frankston. They come away in the preliminary final with an 85-67 victory and book their place in the inaugural NBL1 Grand Final.
And a tough night for Frankston. The difference just being that 3-point line. Shots not falling for Frankston, and the Braves making the big shots when they mattered. The three-headed monster.
And they were very good tonight.
Oh, Methane, Burton, Turner. Just keeping this run alive. Awesome job by the Braves and for the Blues. Great season. They've come a long way after a really rough couple of years. The coaching staff, the club, done a great job. I expect to see a lot of these boys come back. Obviously, they have to wait to see with Majock and Tris with their NBL commitments, but I'm sure they're going to come back, learn their lessons from this year and be a better team next year. So all credit to Frankston in the year that they've had in the NBL1.
Oh, it's been a great season for both clubs, from second last to second in a preliminary final. And Bendigo now, the Cinderella story of NBL1 playoffs this year. They're going to the grand final. They've won 85-67. And for the victors, Mio, 25.7 rebounds. Good portion of those points came in the fourth term. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals to Deontay Burton.
Huge.
He did everything.
Huge.
And Turner, despite banging up his knee, he had a double-double, 16 points and 13 rebounds, throwing a couple of steals. Valuable contribution, like you said, from Hogan, 13 points, 3 rebounds. For the Blues, they got 16 points from Bozeman, 11 rebounds he had as well. 15 points from Hadsio Merovic, the captain, 5 rebounds. And Young had 11 points, but Najuk only had 4. Barker only had 3. McDonald 3 off the bench. They didn't get the contributions or the shooting that they normally get. And when you're shooting, 30% from the field, 35% from the field, it's going to be hard to win. But all credit here at Frankston tonight. Bendigo have booked their place in the grand final. And do we have a winner out of Ballarat yet?
We're just checking the scores right now. It is a close game. It is going down to the wire. 45 seconds left on the NBL app that we are checking. The NBL1 app. 73-68. Nunawading leading with 45 seconds left.
Wow, wouldn't that be a big one? Nunawading and Ballarat going down the wire. You can head to NBL1.com.au to follow the rest of that game. I'm Damien Arsenis from the pickandroll.com.au. Thanks for joining me and Ash Arnott tonight. Hope you had a good night, Ash.
Me. Thank you.
Make sure you check out that other live stream. And, of course, the grand final next week at the State Basketball Centre. The Bendigo Braves booking their spot in that game tonight.